Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Vox Popping channel. I'm Liz, your host for today and forever. I decided to change a little bit up the backdrop. I used to shoot on that wall over there, which was very boring, and I'm giving you guys a little bit more dimension. It's kind of giving like a bit of an Americana, Southern America, Tex-Mexy vibe, isn't it? A bit like Arizona, Sedona. Got a little cactus, got my little cowboy bandana, and this, I'm not sure if this is like peacock chair, where that originates from. Let's see if we can learn something today. Where do peacock chairs originate from? Oh, was born under American colonization in the Philippines. That's good to know. It's always something that comes out of colonization, isn't it? It's not for the best for most people, but I do appreciate this chair. So thank you very much to the Filipinos and to the Americans. No, don't say that. I'm going to get cancelled before I even make it. So the chair originated in the Philippines as a chair produced by inmates of the Bilibid prison in the 20th century. The prison was espoused by colonizers as a benevolent institution where prisoners in rehabilitation programs made articles like furniture, silverware, and baskets. So this originates from criminals. I love it. It has a bit more character to it than I thought it did. I like that. In 1967, the founder of the Black Panther Party was sitting in a chair with a spear and a rifle in each hand and became especially notable as a Black Power movement icon. Yeah, and then the peacock chair was also featured on screen with Morticia Adams. I mean, it's just got so much character, man. It's got so much history. I just love it. It was gifted to me for my 30th birthday by some friends, and I will never forget it. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, enough from the peacock chair, man. Hit it. What are you gonna do with all those humps inside that trunk? I'm gonna get you drunk, get you love drunk off my humps. Yeah, that was some top qual beatboxing right there. I basically used to be a champion of beatboxing in 2015, and then unfortunately I sprained my tongue, so I was no longer able to compete, and that was the downfall of what could have been an amazing career as a beatboxer. It's a tough gig, very strenuous on the lips and the tongue. My tongue has never fully recovered. That's why I can't seem to articulate very well. You might notice sometimes when I pronounce words, I just pronounce them like I don't pronounce them well. One thing apparently to work for your articulation is to talk like this. So you try and sing a song or you talk like that in order to improve your speech. So when you remove the pen, you talk like the Queen of England. Well, not with her accent, but with her articulation. Anyway, moving on to the theme for today, which is alcohol. Fucking hell. I just realized the bloody mic's on mute. The bloody mic's on mute. Okay, so you're officially going to have a good sound in 3, 2, 1. There you go. That's really what it should be sounded like. God damn it. I do this all the time. I'm going to reshoot the beatboxing section. Hold on. So yes, segueing into from love drunk, alcohol. Alcohol has been a big feature in my life, I would say, since probably the age of, dare I say, 14, 15, 16, up until very recently. I am 30 for the third time. I have just always pretty much loved alcohol. Kind of like love-hate relationship with it. Obviously, you overdrink, you get hungovers. Sometimes you feel like you might be wasting away your precious years, whatever. But also at the same time, it's so much crack. You're letting loose. There's a million selection of drinks out there. There's only a few soft drinks out there, in my opinion, right? But alcohol and cocktails, I mean, I feel like the choice is just infinite, right? You got your espresso martinis, your margaritas, your Manhattans, your whiskey sours, your amaretto sours, your mojitos, your daiquiris, your rum cokes, gin tonic, vodka coke, vodka orange. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, right? So it's just like children in a candy shop, man. It's just so yum. My personal favorites are actually beer, beer is a nice solid staple. It also doesn't get you too drunk. You can drink fair quantities of it before getting absolutely smashed. Otherwise, a margarita. Absolutely love a margarita. Gotta say, I make the best ones. Delish. I will drop the recipe here for you guys. Actually, I'm going to talk you through it. It's a third of lime, a third of Cointreau or any kind of orange liqueur, and a third of tequila, preferably gold tequila in my opinion. A little bit of agave syrup, but you can use sugar syrup or honey. It's going to taste better with agave syrup. A little pinch of salt in there, and boom, you're on a roll. You're on for a good night. You're going to have the class time. You're brilliant. You're good. You're good. You're just going to be careful though. They're very treacherous. I'd say 2 max is a reasonable one, but you can go all the way to 7, and then the next day you're dying, I would say. You're absolutely dying. This year, I have managed to cut down. I've kept my drinking only to Friday nights and under 5 drinks, which is still a substantial amount. But every morning, every Saturday morning that I wake up, I get like a big headache. I feel like Harry Potter when Voldemort's around. Like I feel like my head is just splitting in half or something. But that's good. You know, I feel like that's also me learning where my limits are. And my limits have reduced drastically. I mean, at university, this was the thing. We would meet up before pre-drinks. Everybody would bring their own bottle. It could be 1 bottle of gin or 1 bottle of vodka or whatever you were drinking that night. And we would drink 3/4 of it in the pre-drinks. Then we would go out to a bar, like drinking Jägermeister or whatever it is. And then you would often end up going back to someone's flat and drinking the rest of whatever you had that you hadn't drank the thing before. And we would do that 2 or 3 times a week. It was absolutely disgusting, man. I think there's a threshold when you're drinking. It's kind of like you might have 2 or 3 drinks, and then after that, it's just kind of the same level of drunkenness, or it's all going to be the same in your head. Then it's really the taste of the drink that gets kicked in, because then you're drinking water and you're like, oh, this doesn't taste like shit. It's a funny one though when you're drinking, because you start off, you're like, I'm going to have 1 or 2 drinks, and then there's something that just kicks in your brain and you're like, of course I'm going to have another drink. Of course I'm going to have another drink. When you're drunk, you got loads of money, like unlimited supply of cash, and you've never heard of a hangover in your life. I mean, that's not even a concept that's ever even like come through your head when you're drinking. And then you wake up in the next morning, you're like, never, ever, ever again. And then comes midday and you're like, oh, I could have a cheeky mimosa. I think I finally matured into someone who is able to not drink too much and still have a good time. If I was stressed out, I'd like to have a drink. If I was celebrating something, I'd love to have a drink. If I was hungover, I'd have a drink. If I was sober, I'd be like, feeling good, let's have a little beer or something. So I'm really chuffed about this evolution that's happened. I'm glad I'm just kind of naturally maturing that way. And it hasn't taken a lot of willpower. I think I'm sick and tired of being tired from alcohol. So that's it. A little bit of me chatting. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll keep making videos for nobody to watch them. All right, bye.
Vox popping.